Just discovered this book, The AI Advantage by Thomas H. Davenport. How to put artificial intelligence revolution to work. Okay, let me just read some. I'll read this paragraph here in the front page. In the AI Advantage, Thomas Davenport offers a guide to using artificial intelligence, also known as cognitive technologies, in business. He describes what technologies are available and how companies can use them for business benefits and competitive advantage. He cuts through the hype of the AI craze. Remember when it seemed plausible that IBM's Watson could cure cancer? To explain how business can put artificial intelligence to work now, in the real world. His key recommendation: don't go for the moonshot, curing cancer, or synthesizing all investment knowledge. Look for the low-hanging fruit to make your company more efficient. That's what I exactly want. I want to start from there. I don't aim to use AI to build some crazy agents do all my work. That's impossible, and I don't want that. Actually, I want to do my work. Doing my work is quite fun. I mean, creative work, writing, scripting, editing, they're all fun work to me. I just don't want to spend hours on uploading my routine videos, which could take 7 hours for 1 week uploads. And I'm still trying to figure out it. I tried the make.com for automation, but it didn't work. I need to continue looking. Davenport explains that the business value AI offers is solid rather than sexy or splashy. AI will improve products and processes and make decisions better informed, important by largely invisible tasks. AI technologies won't replace human workers but rather augment their capabilities with smart machines to work alongside smart people. AI can automate structured and repetitive work, provide extensive analysis of data through machine learning, analytics on steroids, and engage with customers and employees via chatbots, and intelligent agents. Companies should experiment with these technologies and develop their own expertise. Davenport describes the major AI technologies and explains how they are being used. Reports on the AI work done by large commercial enterprises like Amazon and Google, and outlines strategies and steps to becoming a cognitive corporation. This book provides an invaluable guide to the real-world future of business AI. Cool. Let me continue reading. Series forward. The world does not lack for management ideas. Thousands of researchers, practitioners, and other experts produce tens of thousands of articles, books, papers, posts, and podcasts each year. But only a scant few promise to truly move the needle on practice, and fewer still dare to reach into the future of what management will become. It is this rare breed of idea, meaningful to practice, grounded in evidence, and built for the future, that we seek to present in this series. Paul Mischerman, Editor-in-Chief, MIT Sloan Management Review. Preface. I've been interested in artificial intelligence for a long time. In 1986, for example, I was head of a technology management research center called PRISM, Partnership for Research in Information Systems Management. Working closely with the late MIT professor and business re-engineering guru Michael Hammer, we researched a variety of topics that year. But I was particularly excited about one, called Expert Systems, Prospects and Early Development. It addressed the fast-growing area of artificial intelligence. the the precursor term for what is often called cognitive technologies. Expert systems were the AI technology that most excited business at the time. Prism had 50 or so large corporate sponsors, and many of them had expert system pilots. The technology seemed ready for prime time. All around the Kendall Square neighborhood of Cambridge, Massachusetts, where I worked, the excitement about AI was palpable. My company, Index Systems, was primarily a consulting firm, but we had just spun off a startup, Applied Expert Systems (APEX), to develop an expert system for financial planning. Next door, MIT started the Computer Science and AI Lab, CSAIL, which continues today. Just down the street from my office was the headquarters of Symbolics, the leading company that built dedicated Lisp, a programming language suited to AI applications, machines. As something of an aside, I remember reading on March 15, 1985, that Symbolics had just registered the first internet domain name, symbolics.com. Over the decades, I remained interested in the technologies and how companies were using them. During the 1990s and early 2000s, I was primarily working on knowledge management and analytics starting in the late 1990s, and AI was in one of its several winters of low commercial enthusiasm. However, I was still very interested in how AI was being used in business. Rule engines was still the dominant technology in that era, and some companies, including Accenture, where I ran a research center, were making money from building and using them. My then Accenture colleague Jean Harris and I set out to study them. Our resulting 2005 article, Automated Decision Making Comes of Age, described the companies, many of them in the financial service industry, that were getting substantial value from the technology. But this article didn't lead to a winter snap. Of all my publications, according to Google Scholar, it is the 86th most often cited, with only 99 brave souls mentioning it in print. Since most of my work over the past decade or two involves analytics and big data, I tried to follow that movement wherever it led. And over the past 2 or 3 years, it has been clear that it is leading to AI. I will argue throughout this book that AI is a largely analytical technology, and that for most organizations working with it, AI is a straightforward extension of what they do with data and analytics. I would normally have written this book on enterprise uses of AI/cognitive a couple of years ago. The enterprise is usually my focus when a new set of technologies emerges. I wrote books on that with enterprise resource planning, ERP systems, knowledge management, analytics, and big data. But a couple of years ago, there weren't very many large enterprises that were making effective use of this technology. I wrote another book with Julia Kirby on what AI means for workers and their jobs. And by the time that one came out in 2016, enterprises were increasingly jumping on the bandwagon. The world is clearly ready for a book that charts the path of artificial intelligence and cognitive technologies in mainstream businesses. What follows is my attempt at such a book. Okay. I now wonder how many of these predictions were actually true. Like many years ago, people started using AI and they made predictions about the future. And how many of them are actually true? Okay, I'm gonna continue working on my laptop. Maybe I should just continue reading here, but I don't want to continue recording it. Okay. Thank you for reading with me. 停止录像。